Hi, I'm Rich Jordan from Curiosity Software in the series looking at test approaches and test strategies. Test environments and test data are an intrinsic part of running a test, and yet, year after year in research like the World Quality Report, they rank as the biggest challenges organizations and test teams face. We see that there is an obvious reason. Teams really don't think about what data they need until the execution window is dawning on them, and probably just use the test environment that they have always requested, probably that big integrated one that everyone else uses, half of the systems they have no specific need for. Teams who approach test data and test environments like this are suffering from accidental complexity. The approach they have chosen, often unintended, means that the approach is a machine gun reaction. I need all the environments with all of the data. It's not a very smart requirement, and indeed, it's a fool's errand to even understand what this means, let alone deliver it to each test team in an organization. Is it any wonder test data and environments is reported as the biggest problem for teams? The real problem is a lack of thought about how testing should be approached to avoid this complexity. We've learnt in previous sessions about implementing the test pyramid, limiting the blast radius to complement the loosely coupled architecture being developed. All of these steps are key to keeping your data and your environment requirements targeted. Modeling is a great way of achieving these outcomes. On top of this, parameterizing your model steps to align the data or the criteria you need for testing will keep your data requirements aligned and prevent unfortunate requests of "we need a full copy of data." For functional testing, you should really have a one-to-one relationship between the tests you run and the amount of data you need to run your tests. Better still, as you better understand your systems, you will start to replace actual data with regular expressions, removing the need for data requirement entirely for a large proportion of your tests. As your isolation strategy gains momentum, so do your options for environments. The ideal you want is an ephemeral environment, short-lived environments that last the length of your test execution and then get dropped. This allows you to be cost-effective with your test infrastructure and gives you the option to start adopting things like environment virtualization and sandboxing, but that can only really become true if you have confidence that the system or interface you are replacing with a virtual equivalent is just that. Often teams adopting this technology quickly come to understand that systems and interface understanding is not where it needs to be. Fortunately, as with many other things, modeling is a great way to collaborate around how an interface should work, and you might even look to build virtual interfaces from your models. If you want to learn more about how you might use Modeler to overcome some of these challenges, check out the webinar we did in the link provided.